Hello guys, and what's up? My name is Mundu and you're back with another episode of Modo's House, and welcome aboard today. Woo! We are mixing. I know you guys are going to love this. I've been doing a lot of talk videos, so today I'm going to do one technical demonstration video. And if we go back to the video I talked about my struggles with mixing on my piano, I mentioned about whereby maybe the BPM of the song will read as half of the actual BPM. So that is what we call an instant double. So in this particular video today, I'm going to show you how you can be nailing your instant doubles whenever you encounter them. And this will apply to any music genre, not just in a piano or in house, but it is going to apply in anything that you mix. And sometimes you find yourself having to mix songs that you know in reality have the same BPM, but by the software, the BPM of one is normally half or double that of the other. So let me just try and explain what an instant double is. For example, I'm going to demonstrate this using a piano. A piano is normally made with a BPM of normally between 110 to around 114 and 15. So most of the songs are going to be within that range of BPM. But once in a while, you analyze songs, then you find that even though this song you have listened to it before and you know it is at 114, it is going to read as half of that. So that's why it's called instant doubles, because the double means that it is cutting by half, or the half is cutting by double. Okay. So that's why it's called instant doubles. So mostly this one will be a software issue whereby sometimes the software, like maybe I'm using Tractor Pro, which does not have a lot of logarithm or a lot of AI knowledge to deal with a piano. So I mostly encounter my instant doubles when I'm mixing on a piano and a bit of African house, because I think the sounds are a bit strange to the software but mostly my piano has a lot of instant doubles for my case in Tractor. And this is what made my DJing come of age, because remember, it is very easy to mix songs that are in the same BPM just by looking at the waveform, because you can just look at the first one, at the first, time it, play it, then you can match by looking at it. But now when it comes to the instant double, if one of the song is twice the speed of the other, they cannot move at the same speed visually. Yes, the sounds will be in sync if you align them properly, but if one of the songs is twice the BPM of the other or half the BPM of the other, you cannot align them visually, because visually one of the waveforms is going to be faster than the other by twice, or the other is going to be slower by half. So that means you cannot manage to mix them visually. So most of the times when I've had my DJs over for housemates, this has been one of the things that we have to iron out, and I tell them, sorry, some of your songs are going to read as half BPM, but in case that happens, you can do this and this and this, and most of them, since they are pros, they can nail it. And that's what I want to share today. So what I have here in the software is two songs. Of course, I already have them preloaded. I have two of my piano songs on Tractor Pro. Then I have two active loops. I have a loop, the deck that I'll assume this is a playing song, then this is a song that I want to bring in. So on deck A, I have a song that is playing. I have a loop of 16 bars, as you can see here. So the 16 active bars are coded in green as compared to the rest of the song. So that is an easy way of identifying your loops. Then on the other side, on deck B, I have another song that has a BPM of 57.5. So on that particular song, I have a loop of 4, as you can see. So I'm going to loop 4. So the reason I'm looping this is because I don't want to get to the busy part of the song. I just want us to mix, like I said in the previous video about mixing on my piano. I just want to mix the percussion into the percussion without getting into the melodies, into the chords, into the progressions, into the log drums and the bass lines and whatnot. We just want to mix the songs where they are less busy, and it is very easy for us to get them to mix and blend nicely. So yes, you're playing your set in the club, at home, and then you get to this point. The next song you want to bring in is reading as half the BPM. but you are very, very sure at the back of your mind that this particular song plays at a BPM that is like the other song, but on the software it is reading half. When I was a beginner, I was making this mistake. I would tell myself, since these songs have the same speed, if I sync them, it is going to work out. So the playing channel being by master, I was hitting sync on the other channel like that, and now that means, as you can see, the moment I hit sync, that song was sped up by almost 100%. And so even if it's going to be in sync, it is going to be very, 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 very off. So at that point, I did not know how to cue and how to pre-listen. So once I did that, I will bring it up confidently. I will play it. So, and listen to this mess. See? Yeah? So it's very pathetic, it's very, very, very off, and this is one of the things that made me struggle with mixing on my piano. So I'm going to kill the song that I've just brought in and bring back the kicks of the other one, and now show you how you can do this like a pro. We are not going to be using sync, number one. Then number two, we are not going to, we're just going to be using our pre-listen to align the song. So number one, we'll not be using sync, and number two, will not be relying on the sound wave. So I'm going to cue it there again. Then I'm just going to, I have to load it so that I can have it in the original BPM, like there. So the BPM here is 114, the BPM here is 57.5. So now when you're dealing with instant doubles, mathematics really comes in. So your BPMs have to be perfectly double and half of each other. So what do I mean? For example, in this case, what is half of 114? It is 57. If you divide 114 by 2, it is 57. Then on this other side, if you multiply 57.5 by 2, it is going to become 115. Okay? So that means we have to make changes to one of the BPMs. I hope I'm making sense. So on this side, the BPM is 114. On this side, the BPM is 57.5. For us to align them together, we have to make the BPM a perfect half or double of each other. So if the BPM here is 57, if the BPM here is 114, then on this side we have 57.5. The double of this is faster than this. That means we have to make a few changes to the other BPM. So normally I will always choose to affect the BPM that is not playing. So I'm going to leave this alone. So then I'm going to take 114 divided by 2. So my current BPM is 114. Divide by 2, I get 57. So I'm going to make sure that on the other deck, I have a BPM of 57. So I'm going to come to my crossfader and drop this to exactly 57.0. So that is the first step. Always make sure for your instant doubles, your BPMs are a perfect double and a perfect half of each other. So I always prefer having a perfect BPM because I don't have to think about, once my songs are aligned, they can play for as long as I want them to without them going out in sync. So you can miss by 0.2, 0.1, but I prefer mine to being very, very precise. So once I do that, I'm going to loop again, a loop of 4. So then I'm now going to use my cue. So I'm going to enable my cue like that. So I'm going to pre-listen to these songs. So I said that you cannot mix this by looking at the wave because the waves will be moving at different speeds. So you cannot use our eyes to make sure that the waves are perfect. So what you have to do is we have to use our ears, because even though they have different BPMs on the software, on the sound, the sound they are going. The sound is of the same speed or the same BPM. So even this song is still a 114 song, only that the BPM and the waveform is not right. So what the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-listen to the playing song so that I can find the one. Remember about counting the one. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. So I'm going to listen to my one here. So I'm bringing up my headphone, my cue volume. Now I can hear the song here. So then I'm going to cue the other song. That means I'll be able to play it here, but it will not be coming out through the speakers. So my crowd will be listening to this as I do this. So look at my waves. I'm going to do a perfect timing. So then I've hit play. Now I'm listening to find whether it is on beat or it is off. So then I'm going to adjust it accordingly using the jog wheel. So for this one, there is no shortcut. You have to use your headphones. You have to pre-listen for you to mix your instant doubles, because number one, you can't look at the wave, and number two, you can't sync. The moment you sync, it goes perfectly off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to listen and now nudge my track, the new track, in front or back till it is in time with the other. So I'm going to listen in. Almost getting it. Yes, I think I have it. So once I do that, I think I have it right. And now remember, because I have a loop here, and I have a loop here, and I have my BPMs perfect down to 2 decimal points. This can play as long as this can play till I get to a good point of bringing in the song where I want it. And anytime I want to bring it in, I'm just going to confirm it is in time. Now listen to this. Remember the other time I brought this up, it was messy. So I'm going to kill this and bring this up. You feel me? Now they're in time. Perfect. Even if I bring this back, so that's how you deal with your instant doubles. So number one, make sure that you get half the BPM on the other deck and double the BPM on the other deck. That is point number one. So then point number two, remember, you can't sync. You have to pre-listen, because I've seen this mess up people a lot. Let me just laugh. Then number three, you cannot use the sound wave. So that means that you have to pre-listen to the song yourself using the headphones like that. Get it right. So and now even if I loop any of these songs anywhere, like I've looped again, they are still perfectly in time. So if I kill any of the low frequencies, they are still in time. But these are 114, these are 57. So that's how you ace this. So that is how you deal with your instant doubles. So I'm just going to just do this one more time. So I'm going to come now from the 57 to the 114. So let me kill this. So this is playing. Then I'm going to take now this to the original, back to the original BPM. But for the purpose of learning, I'm going to take this back to the original BPM, 57.5. And now I'm going to stop this and take it to the first cue point. So then I'm going to loop this 16 bars like that. So then once I have that looped in, I'm going to ask myself, which is the master deck? The one with 57.5. Where am I taking that? To the deck with the 114. So what is 57? The lesser BPM times 2 is 115. So I'm going to double this, and I'm going to put a BPM of 115 on the other deck like this. So take this up. Precise BPM for me. So 7.5 times 2, 115 like that. So then I'm going to loop. I'm going to loop 4. Normally when I'm queuing, I just want to have a very short loop. So I'm going to loop 4. So then I'm going to, of course, bring my cue up. I have my cue here. So wait for it. Time. So I play the music. It's a bit off. So I'm nudging. Sounds nice. So I'm bringing it up. Here you go. So the other way around. Nicely done. So that is it, guys. That is it. So for let me just sum it up once again. Number one, make sure that your BPMs are double and half each other. So if the BPM of the playing deck is the higher one, like this one, is the higher one, make sure that the BPM of the incoming deck is half. If the playing deck is the higher one, is the lower one, like this one, make sure that the incoming deck is twice the BPM of that one. So then after that, remember, number one, you can't sync. Number two, you can't read the sound wave. So the only option is you have to pre-listen, and this is what made my DJing come of age. This is what took me from looking at the sound wave to doing this, and I can tell if the song is off or not by just listening. Then I can nudge it, front and back, have it nicely in time, and bring it in. So guys, that's how you deal with your instant doubles. I hope today's video was very informative, especially if you're planning to come for housemates and maybe in your songs you get half of them reading as half the BPM, especially for a piano. I know this is going to be very helpful, but on top of just using it for mixing your instant doubles, you can use this as a practice to improve your cueing and your pre-listening, because that's a skill that you really need you need to develop slowly. I'm going to talk about this another time. When you put this here, what sound do you listen to, and how do you have it on the cue or on the master or in between? Do you have the kicks up or do you have the kicks down? So I'm going to talk about pre-listening in another video. As we said, I'm going to be doing this bit by bit, but for today, that was the video. That was just me sharing how I came to tackle instant doubles, and that mainly and majorly improved my mixing of my piano. So I think that is all that is there for today. I'm going to call it a day and call it a video. See you in another episode of Modo's House, where we talk everything house music, and of course it's your boy Modo Anyoba. In case you're new here, subscribe. Thank you. Bye.